Hello everyone, I hope you all are good and you all must have attempted the test. So today in the class we are going to discuss, basically in this video we are going to discuss important questions from AIET 2 test. Okay, so let's get started with some questions. And the very first question is here, the very first question of your paper itself. So the first question is time dependence of physical quantity P equal to something like that is given. And we are asked that the constant alpha will have dimension of what? So you all must have studied like if E has a power of something, then this thing used to be what? Dimensionless. यहाँ पे जो भी होगा that will be your dimensionless. ठीक है? So in this question, if you can see, P is written as P naught e ka power minus alpha t square. Done. So whatever power E is having, that power value will have no dimension, right? So alpha t square will have no dimension. Now, if you look at this term, so alpha into t square. Now t square will have dimension of what? Time ka square and alpha. Overall, this thing has to be what? This thing has to be dimensionless. है ना? And it will be dimensionless only if this alpha has a dimension of t to the power minus 2. Then only t to the power minus 2 into t to the power 2 will become equal to t ka power 0. Yani ki dimensionless. Done. So alpha should have here dimension of what? It will have dimension of t ka power minus 2. So the correct answer should be what? It should be B. Okay. I hope first question is clear. Now let's come to this question. This is question number 3. So what the question was, first let's go through the question. There are two particles and they are dropped from two different heights. Okay, so let's make something like this. Suppose kar lo, this is your, this height is your H2 and this height is your H1. And what is happening from these two heights, what we are doing, we are dropping a particle. Done. And done. So here suppose there is a ball and we are dropping it down. Here also there is a ball, we are dropping it down. Now what the question is, find the ratio of time taken to reach the ground. So the very first thing that we need to calculate is ratio of time taken to reach the ground. अब आप देखो, if we drop something, it means its initial velocity is what? 0. Whenever in the question it is written like you are dropping something, it means you are letting it free. It means initially its velocity was what? 0. So initial velocity is 0. Now for the first case, if we go, if we have to calculate the time in which this ball will come down, then initial velocity is 0. How much displacement it is covering? H1. Done. And in this, during this motion, there will be acceleration and that will be directed downward equal to G, right? So if you are going to apply the equation of motion, is equal to ut plus half at square. So in the downward direction, displacement is, so this is minus h1. Initial velocity is 0. So ut will become what? It will become 0. Now let's come to this half. Acceleration is minus g because downward direction ko we are taking as negative. है ना? And upward direction in the same way it will become positive, right? So t square minus minus sign will get cancelled. So time it will take to come down will be equal to 2h1 by g. Similarly, time taken by second particle to come down will be how much? 2h2 by g. So we can calculate their radius. T1 by T2 will be equal to what? Root under h1 by h2. Done. So time का ratio तो हमें मिल गया. T1 by T2 ratio is equal to how much? Root under h1 by h2. What is the second thing? Distance traveled ratio. So definitely first ball is traveling how much distance down? H1 distance, and second ball is traveling how much distance down? H2. So their ratio will be simply H1 by H2. So distance traveled का ratio क्या लिखोगे आप? H1 by H2. Now let's go to the third thing, final speed. Final speed ratio we need to calculate. Let's calculate it for any one particle. Suppose I am again going to calculate it for the first particle. So यहाँ पे आप देखो, its initial velocity, let's use the equation of motion, v equal to u plus at. So initial velocity is how much? Initial velocity is 0. Final velocity we have to calculate. Acceleration is how much? That is your minus of g. Time taken to come down is how much? 2h2 by g. So if you're going to solve it, if you're going to calculate the minus sign will indicate the velocity is in downward direction. So if you're going to calculate the modulus of velocity of the first particle, it will be how much? 2gh2. Similarly, velocity of second particle modulus will be how much? 2g, sorry, h1 it is for first particle, 2gh2. If you're going to take their ratio, so velocity का ratio भी क्या होगा? Root under h1 by h2. So which will be the correct answer? T1 by T2 का ये ratio है. Just see T1 by T2 का ratio यहाँ. B will be your correct answer. Okay. So this question was very much easy. You just needed to apply equation of mode. है ना? There was nothing else. Now let's come to this question. Questions are very easy. You just need to understand everything clearly. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे question में क्या है? Find the value of capital M if acceleration of M is 0. ठीक है? Now to solve this question, you need to first understand the question. What is it actually? तो यहाँ पे आप ध्यान से देखो. It is given that acceleration of m is 0. है ना? Suppose if acceleration of m is not 0, then what will happen? This m will will go up. Then this whole will go down. This whole will go down. And if they're going inside this system, then again this 3 kg and 1 kg mass has a tendency to move around this pulley. है ना? So two kind of motion will happen. First, this capital M mass is suppose going up, then this whole system of pulley 1 kg and 3 kg, इसको मैं एक system बुला रही हूँ. This whole system will come down. If we go inside this system, we can see further motion can happen क्योंकि 3 kg and 1 kg mass is hanged around the pulley. So heavier mass will go down, lighter mass will go up. So inside system also 1 kg will go up, 3 kg will go down. This kind of motion will happen if m is moving. But here in the question it's given acceleration of m is 0. So its acceleration is 0. Done. If its acceleration is 0, then acceleration of this system in the downward direction will also be 0. है ना? क्योंकि आप ध्यान से देखो जितना डिस्टेंस ऊपर जाएगा ये कैपिटल M mass, the same distance this system will come down. And if this M mass is not accelerating, then this system will also not come down. ठीक है? This much I am explaining just to make you understand what the question is. ठीक है? And what else can be asked from here, right? तो अब आप देखो, my question is but here very simple. It's like this capital M mass is not moving. Its acceleration is 0. ठीक है? Now if its acceleration is 0, so what will happen? Let's write the free body diagram of M. So it will have force mg in the downward direction, tension T, T in the upward direction, right? If it is not accelerating, it means T will be equal to mg, right? And same string means same tension. तो यहाँ पे देखो इस string में अगर tension T है, तो यहाँ भी tension क्या होगा? T. यहाँ भी tension क्या होगा? T. Tension always act away from the body. Again, unless and until it is not given, we assume that pulley is massless. And if pulley is massless, if this pulley is massless, then it has no mass now. It has strings like this. So if it has no mass, there will be no gravitational force acting on it. Here tension is T and downward tension always act away from the body. So T dash le lo, T dash le. Since it is massless, it can't have a net force क्योंकि net force किसके बराबर होता है? Mass into acceleration. If mass is 0, this is massless, then net force will always be 0, right? तो यहाँ पे अगर आप लिखो तो T equal to आप क्या लिखोगे? 2T dash. So T dash will be equal to how much? T by 2. So tension inside, tension here will be how much? If here the tension is T, then here the tension will be T by 2. So tension force acting on 1 kg and 3 kg body will be how much? T by 2. Now how we can solve it? We have to calculate value of m, right? So if this is not accelerating and this whole system will not accelerate, but inside the system 3 kg and 1 kg will accelerate, right? So let's write now the free body diagram of 3 kg. अगर आप 3 kg का लिखोगे तो क्या लिखोगे? So you can easily write here This is your 3G in the downward direction. ऊपर tension is T dash, right? And if it is accelerating downward, then we will write as 3G minus T dash equal to 3A. Similarly, you write the FBD of 1 kg, downward direction में force लगेगा 1G, in the upward direction T by 2. If 3 kg is coming down, 1 kg will go up. So you will be writing here T dash minus 1 into G. And that will be equal to 1A. If we are going to add these two, how much we are going to get? 2G equal to 4A. So acceleration is going to be equal to G by 2. So acceleration is this. Now we have to calculate value of mass M. So chalo tension निकाल लेते T dash. So if we know T dash, we can easily calculate M. क्योंकि from here you can see T equal to mg, है ना? And T dash is equal to how much? T dash is equal to T by 2. So T can be written as 2T dash equal to mg. So if we are going to calculate T dash, we can easily calculate the value of capital M. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे अब आप निकाल लो, यहाँ पे A का वैल्यू पुट कर दो एक्सेलरेशन का, ठीक है? So T dash will be equal to G by 2 plus T, and that is equal to 3G by 2. So this is 3G by 2. Now put the value here, 2 into 3G by 2 equal to mg. G will get cancelled, 2 will get cancelled, m is equal to 3. So the answer will be how much? M equal to 3 kg. So the correct answer is going to be what? M equal to 3 kg. This will give you the answer. Okay. So the answer is C. Done. I hope it is clear. Like this question, if you are so much clear of pulley system, you can do it within 1 minute. I did this much to explain the things better, you know. Otherwise, you can do it very easy. अब यहाँ पे देखो question क्या था? Find the acceleration of A with respect to ground for the given arrange. You have to calculate the acceleration of A. This is the system, right? System of pulley and masses. Done. How we will calculate the acceleration of A? First thing, A will accelerate in which direction? First thing, let's see that. So if you can see here carefully, B is the wooden block or any kind of block it is. So suppose kar lo ki this block is going in this direction. It is also given in the question. It is going in this direction with acceleration 3 meter per second square. So just look at the question carefully. If it is going in this direction, then together with this block, this mass A will also go in this direction with the same distance. है ना? So if acceleration of block B is 3 meter per second square towards positive x-axis, then acceleration of A towards x-axis, positive x-axis will be same. है ना? क्योंकि यहाँ पे देख लो, B is directly attached to this pulley. This B block is directly attached to this pulley. It is directly attached. And this mass A is directly attached to this pulley. So that is why whatever block is having acceleration in the forward direction, same acceleration block A will have in the forward direction. Done. First thing. Second thing, A can move in other direction also or not. You just need to see here now. So in which direction A can go? If you see here carefully, there is a pulley like this and block A is attached like this. So this is connected to this bigger block B. है ना? And again, this block A can go up or down, है ना? Because it is hanged to a pulley, hanged with a pulley, right? So it has a tendency to go upward or in downward direction, or in X or Y, in Y, negative Y or plus Y. Done. So it will have another acceleration also in Y direction. Suppose it is going up. So we will say it can move in Y direction. If it is going in this direction, block B, then definitely block A will move upward, if you can imagine it clearly. Okay. So this is the understanding of question. Now how to solve it? So how we will solve it? So for solving such kind of question, we actually need to relate the acceleration of A in Y direction with acceleration of block B in X direction. How we will do that? So यहाँ पे ध्यान से देखो. This block A is connected to a thread and this is the thread. This is a single thread, है ना? ये single thread. इसका कुछ length होगा इस thread का जो मैंने अभी wind किया, है ना? This thread has some length. So suppose its length is L. Now whatever happens, if this block is moving in forward direction, suppose block came here, then what will happen? Separation will change. मतलब this distance will change, this distance, this distance will change, है ना? Because this block has now moved here. Similarly, several distances will change. So let's not go into much deeper. But what will remain constant? Length of this thread is not going to change. है ना? इसका length change नहीं होगा. Done. So let's divide this length into different regions. So if it is moving by x direction, then this will also move forward by x. This will also move forward by x. This also by x. This also by x. है ना? And let it say that this distance is y. So total length of the string, if you say, it will be x plus x plus x plus x plus y. This is equal to L. है ना? And this, how much x? 4x plus y equal to a. Now differentiate it. So 4 dx by dt plus dy by dt equal to 0. है ना? So if you are going to put the modulus here, 4 into velocity in x direction, dx by dt. So 4 into vx equal to vy. है ना? So vy will be how much? Vy will be equal to 4 into vx. Similarly, if we differentiate it one more time, so dvy by dt if we are going to do, and if here we are going to do this, then we will get what? Acceleration of y is equal to acceleration of body in the x direction. 4 times acceleration of body in the x direction. So acceleration of body A in the x direction is how much? This. And acceleration of body A in the y direction is 4 into ax, that is 4 into 12. So this block A has acceleration in 2 directions. In this direction, it has acceleration of 3. And it's in this direction, it has acceleration of 12. So total acceleration will be how much? 12 ka square plus 3 ka square ka root over, right? So this is going to be 144 plus 9, and this is going to be root over 153. So the correct answer will be A. I hope it is clear. Even if it is not getting clear in your head, try to imagine the question. In mechanics, if you want to really get a grip over things or concepts, what you need to do is, you need to really imagine the question. Really think what is going here. Because teacher is not enough to teach you anything, be it any simple thing or complex thing. There is always a cooperation required from student side. So go and imagine the question, and then whatever concept I have told just now, use that. Okay? Chalo. So now let's move on to this question. The equation of projectile is given, velocity of the projection is. Now, whenever you encounter equation of projectile, kind of thing in a question, remember that equation of projectile का एक short form होता है, that is your x tan theta 1 minus x by r, where theta is the angle of projection, r is the range, and x is simply a coordinate at any point of the motion of projectile. Okay? So this way, this is one equation that we should remember. There is a longer one equation, but most of the question will get solved by this. And this is very convenient equation, right? So we need to remember it. अब देखो इसको कैसे हम यूज करते हैं. अब यहाँ पे y equal to हमारा इक्वेशन क्या दिया हुआ है? Y equal to root 3x minus half gx square. Try to get this equation in this form. So what we will do? Take root 3x as common. So you will get here 1 minus gx, 1 minus g root 3x by 2. Sorry. No, not this one. Take it carefully. Root 3x I have taken as common. है ना? So if I'm taking root 3x as common, then I will write here. Suppose कर लो यहाँ मैंने root 3 लिख दिया, यहाँ भी root 3 लिख दिया. So root 3x I have taken as common. So यहाँ पे आप क्या लिखोगे? gx by 2 root 3. Done. So this. Now compare these two equations. If you're going to compare these two equations, x tan theta. So tan theta का value कितना है? root 3. यानी कि theta is how much? 60 degree. Theta is 60 degree. Done. So simple. One thing we have got. How much? What will be the value of range? So range here is root 3 2 by g. Done. So range value is root 3 2 root 3 by g. We have to calculate velocity of projection. So range का formula क्या होता है? If you remember range का formula, that is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. है ना? And this is equal to how much? 2 root 3 by g. So g will get cancelled. Now you just write things over here. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे लिखोगे u square sin 2 theta sin 120 का वैल्यू कितना होता है? root 3 by 2. And that is equal to 2 root 3. Root 3 will get cancelled and u square will become 4. So u will become 2 meter per second. So the equation answer is this. So easily we got the answer by using this equation. Okay. Okay, now let's look at this question. There is a particle moving along two axes with a speed of 50 meter per second. Okay. Experiences a constant acceleration of 20 meter per second along the negative x-axis. Find the displacement and distance traveled in 30 seconds. So we have a formula for displacement in nth second. We don't have a formula for distance in nth second that we can calculate. How? We will see here. But before that, let's understand the question. So particle is free to move along two axes, x and y suppose, but it's moving along a single line with velocity 50 meter per second. And it is starting from the origin. Initially, it is where? It is initially at the origin. Acceleration is in negative x direction. So सबसे पहले एक काम करो, calculate displacement in nth second. That is here third second. So that formula is what? Displacement in nth second का formula क्या होता है? U plus 2n minus 1 a by 2. A is what? Acceleration. U is what? Initial velocity. N is what? The time, like nth second it is. So for here, n will be how much? Third. T, क्योंकि we are calculating displacement in third second. So put the value and get the answer. It is as simple as that. So x3 को आप कैसे निकालोगे? U का value is how much? That is 50 plus 2n, that is 3 into 2, that is 6 minus 1, that is 5 into acceleration 20 by 2. Again, body is moving in this direction, acceleration is in this direction. So acceleration sign यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या लेने वाले हैं? Negative. Now, if you are going to see it, 50 minus 50. So displacement is how much? 0. Displacement is how much? 0 in third second. So S3 is 0. Where S3 is what? Displacement in third second. Now we have to calculate distance. अब आप ध्यान से अगर यहाँ पे देखो, displacement in third second is 0. It means कि अगर मैं यहाँ पे दिखाऊं, suppose कर लो at t equal to 2, body was here. So at displacement in third second means displacement covered between t equal to 2 and t equal to 3. So what is happening between t equal to 2 and t equal to 3? Body is coming back to the same position. Means suppose body was here at t equal to 2. So at t equal to 3, body is again coming to this position. Then only displacement is 0 in third second, right? है ना? It means that between 2 to 3 seconds, body has changed its direction. Means somewhere its velocity has become 0. And after that, its velocity has got direction in this sense. Because initially its velocity was in this sense of 50 meter per second. Done. So if displacement in third second is 0, it means between 2 to 3 seconds, what is happening? Somewhere its velocity is becoming 0. And thereafter its velocity is changing the direction. अब देखो ये अगर हमें distance निकालना है in third second, how we will calculate that? First we will see कि where the velocity is becoming 0, है ना? Till that point we will calculate distance, and at the point where velocity will become 0, after that the body will go back. है ना? Done. So first let's see. Chalo, let's not complicate it more. Let me make it more clear. Let's first see where its velocity is becoming 0. At what time? So v equal to what you write? U plus at. So v final velocity 0 initially is 50 minus 20t. So t is how much? 5 by 2 seconds. So 2.5 second pe, at 2 seconds suppose the body was here. And at 2.5 seconds, what is happening? Its velocity is becoming 0. and at this point acceleration is in this direction, you know. So now what will happen? Body will start moving in this direction, right? So if we have to calculate distance covered in third second, how we will do that? First we will calculate ki how much distance it covered between 2 to 2.5 seconds, and then we will see ki how much distance again it covered between 2.5 and 3 seconds. So how we will do that? First let's see that. So at distance covered in 2 seconds, अगर मैं निकालूं displacement covered in 2 seconds, so it will be equal to u into 2 plus half a into 2 का square, है ना? If I am going to calculate displacement covered in 2.5 seconds, it will be equal to how much? It will be u into 2.5 plus half a into 2.5 का square. Agree? This is the way. And distance covered between 2 to 2.5 will be equal to how much? This minus this, because in this time duration, its velocity is in forward direction only. So displacement will be equal to distance. Done. So we can easily calculate it now. Distance covered between 2.5, 2 से 2.5 कितना होगा? Just subtract these two. तो आप क्या रखने वाले हो यहाँ पे? U होगा T2 minus T1 plus half a T2 का square minus T1 का square, है ना? Let's now put the value. So initial velocity is how much? That is equal to 50. T2 minus T1, 2.5 minus 2, that is equal to 0.5, that is equal to 1 by 2. Minus y, क्योंकि acceleration is negative, half into 20. T2 का square, 2.5 का square कितना होगा? 6.25. T1 का square, that is 4. है ना? So this much. Now this is equal to 10 and 6.25 minus 4 कितना होगा? 2.25, है ना? And into 10 कितना होगा? 22.5. So 25 minus 22.5. If you are going to subtract these two, how much you are going to get? You will get 2.5. So distance covered between 2 to 2.5 seconds is how much? It is 2.5 meters. Now we have to calculate distance covered in third second. यानी कि again we need to see कि between time t equal to 2.5 से t equal to 3 तक कितना distance हुआ, ठीक है? So in that time duration, what is going to happen? In that time duration, velocity has reversed its direction, and at this time 2.5 second, velocity is 0. So we can easily calculate this distance. How we can easily calculate this distance? We can simply see that here the velocity is 0, है ना? And from here to here it is taking how much time? Half second. तो आप distance को easily निकाल लो. A is equal to initial velocity को 0 मान लो, क्योंकि initial time I am taking as 2.5 seconds. So half acceleration is 20 into t का square, that is 1 by 4. So 10 divided by 4, that is equal to 2.5. So distance covered between 2 to 2.5 is 2.5 second is 2.5 meter. Again 2.5 to 3 second is 2.5 meter. So total distance covered in third second will be equal to how much? 5 meter. So the correct answer will be A. We can do it more easily if we have better or easy understanding of this concept. I explain more so that you can understand it in a better way. Okay, now let's look at this question. Again, this is a very easy question. अब यहाँ पे आप ध्यान से देखो. The velocity of end A of rigid rod placed between two smooth vertical walls move with velocity u along vertical direction. So this rod is falling vertically downward with velocity u. The velocity of end B of the rod. तो B end का velocity क्या होगा ये हमें बताना है, ठीक है? So such kind of questions are basically of constraint. जो हमने पूली में किया वो भी constraint का question था. So just try to see here one thing कि आप इस rod को ध्यान से देखो. This rod has some definite length, है ना? Suppose its length is L. Just like I said in the pulley problem, the rope around the pulley has a constant length, है ना? Similarly here, this rod has a constant length, and this length L can be equated to what? So this is leaned against the wall, and if this distance is y, this distance is x, then we can easily see L equal to x square plus y square root over. So यहाँ पे L square कर देती हूँ, ठीक है? Something like that. Now, if we have to relate acceleration of y direction with acceleration of x direction, we have got the equation. We can differentiate. So the prime thing in constant type of question is to get such kind of equation. Just look for what is remaining constant. Then write that constant in terms of variable. That's it. तो यहाँ पे आप डिफरेंशिएट करो. कांस्टेंट का डिफरेंशिएशन 0 2x dx by dt plus 2y dy by dt. अब आप इसको लिख डालो. कितना होगा ये? 2y vy equal to how much? That is equal to minus 2x dx. ठीक है, यहाँ से 2 को आप कैंसिल कर दो. नाउ vy by vx will be equal to x by y. So if you're going to write here y by x tan theta के बराबर होगा. Y by x will be equal to what? Tan theta. X by y will become equal to what? Cot theta. तो यहाँ पे इसको मैं cot theta लिख देती हूँ. Now vy is given, that is u. माइनस साइन को मैंने हटा दिया क्योंकि that has to do with the direction basically. If it is coming downward, that is negative velocity, then it is going forward, that is positive velocity. Done. So that is why I have removed simply the direction. अब यहाँ पे आप ध्यान से देखो, vx can be written as what? It can be written as vy by cot theta, and that is equal to vy tan theta. So vy is equal to u, so it is u tan theta. So the correct answer will be, see how is it the question, है ना? अब देखो, this question I have included because I really wanted to make you understand how to do questions where it is asked something like कि calculate the shortest distance between two bodies, two moving bodies. ठीक है, जैसे imagine करो there are two lines, something like that, something like that. What will be the shortest distance between these two lines? So shortest distance by logic, it is always the perpendicular distance between these two. That is the shortest. Beyond it, everything will be longer than the shortest, longer than the perpendicular line. You can see here clearly. So shortest distance between two points is again, in दोनों points से आप एक line को draw कर लो, and then perpendicular distance will be the shortest. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे actually क्वेश्चन में ये गिवन है कि there is a body A moving in forward direction with 4 meter per second. There is a body B moving in upward direction with velocity 3 meter per second. We have to say that initially they were at a separation of 10 meter. No, in the question it is given. And finally, initially it is a 10 meter separation. So it is moving in this direction, it is this. It is asked that what will be the minimum separation after t equal to 0 with initial separation being 10 meters. कैसे निकालेंगे? So for such kind of question we go by using relative velocity concept. How? Let's see that here. So the question में क्या दिया हुआ है? A, B initially separated by 10 meter. A is moving in this direction, B is moving in this direction. First you need to understand, when we say VAB, what does it mean? Velocity of A with respect to B. इसका मतलब ये होता है. So when I'm saying कि velocity of A with respect to B, I'm assuming that B is in rest, and then I'm trying to see if B is in rest, then what will be the velocity of A? What will be the direction of velocity of A? So VAB means B is becoming the observer. B is becoming the observer. And this observer is at relative rest. Rest पे तो है नहीं, B move कर रहा है forward direction में 3 meter per second से. But in relative concept, if we say VAB, it means B is observer as relatively at rest, and then we are trying to see what is the velocity of A. ठीक है, तो चलो मैं इसको डायग्राम से दिखाती हूँ. तो B observer हो गया यहाँ पे हमारा, है ना? And if we are going to calculate VAB, what you will do? Vector VA minus vector BB. So VA is in which direction? VA is in this direction. VB is in upward direction. If I'm going to do VA minus VB, it means I'm going to add two vectors. One is VA, another is minus VB. So minus VB will be in this direction. We have to add these two vectors for getting VAB. Again, vector can be translated parallelly. इसलिए मैंने VB को क्या किया, यहाँ से उठाकर यहाँ रख दिया. Same thing I have done. So VA is in this sense, VB is in this sense, and their resultant will be this. So actually, if B is observer relatively at rest, then we will see that A is going along this direction. Okay, this is the meaning of VAB. Okay, so this is this. Now, if we have to calculate the shortest distance, we will draw perpendicular line from B to the line of motion of A. Done. So that is line of motion is this. So shortest distance will be what? This. अब आप geometry से इसको निकाल लो. This is very easy. Initial separation between A and B was how much? 10. Suppose this is D. So what I will write? D by 10 is equal to sine theta. है ना? So we just need the value of sine theta. How we can calculate sine theta? That also we can do very much easily here. जैसे आप यहाँ पे ध्यान से देखो, VA और VB दोनों परपेंडिकुलर वेक्टर थे, है ना? मैंने अगेन VB को यहाँ पे ट्रांसलेट किया पैरेलली. अब आप इस बड़े वाले ट्रायंगल में देखो, ये बड़े वाले ट्रायंगल, अगर इस बड़े वाले ट्रायंगल को देखो तो ये भी एक राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल है ना? ये है VB, ये है VA. VB इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच? 3. VA इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच? 4. तो अगर आप VB ये 3 ले लो, ये 4 ले लो, तो tan थीटा का वैल्यू क्या होगा? If you see here carefully, height by base, tan theta कितना होने वाला है? 3/4. चलो इसका सेपरेट ट्रायंगल बना लेते हैं. This is 3, this is 4, this is theta. So tan theta is 3/4. This will become 5. Sin theta is how much? 3/5. तो आप यहाँ पे वैल्यू पुट कर दो. This is 3/5. This will become how much? D will become 6 meter. I know in your answer it is given as 8 meter, but the correct answer will be 6 meter. ओके, करेक्ट आंसर क्या होने वाला है? इट विल बी दिस. ठीक है, चलो. नाउ लेट्स सी, लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस क्वेश्चन. देयर इज अ यूनिफॉर्म रोप ऑफ मास m and length L and that is pulled by a constant force of 10 Newton. Find tension in the rope at a point L/5. तो यहाँ पे कहीं मुझे टेंशन निकालना. हाउ विल डू दैट? तो सिंपल है यार, इसको एक तुम सिस्टम की तरह पहले एज्यूम करो. So on whole this system 10 Newton force is acting. Suppose its mass is m. So its acceleration will be how much? Force by mass. That is 10 by m meter per second square. This is the acceleration. We have to calculate tension at this point at length L/5. तो एक काम करो, इस पॉइंट पे निकालना है. What you do? You divide it into 2 blocks now. ये एक सिस्टम है, इसको मैंने 2 ब्लॉक में डिवाइड करके ऐसे दिखा रही हूँ. So its length is L/5 and this length will be 4L/5. So its mass will be m/5 if whole mass is m and its mass will be 4m/5. है ना? Now this whole is accelerating in the forward direction with how much acceleration? Just now we have seen 10/m. Now pick any one body. तो एक बॉडी को मैंने लिया. अभी देखो ये बॉडी इस पे कैसे कैसे फोर्स लगा रही हूँ कि just try to see that. So this body will apply a force on it and this body will apply a force on it like that. If it is accelerating in this direction, what will happen here? If you are going to talk about, so in between, जैसे यहाँ पे जो भी एटम्स होंगे, यहाँ पे जो भी एटम्स होंगे, दोनों में क्या होगा? कुछ कुछ फोर्सेस लग रहे होंगे ना, कंप्रेसिव या एक्सपेंसिव फोर्सेस लगेंगे, है ना? So that is kind of a tension force again. So if I'm going to write the free body diagram of L/5 length, so here the force acting is 10 Newton, है ना? And I have always said कि tension always act away from the body. तो आप tension इस पे always away लगाओ. Tension कहाँ से arise हुआ? क्योंकि अगर if you're going to cut any portion of this rod, you will get 2 portions and 1 portion apply tension on another. ठीक है, simple is this. Now this is T. Now if you're going to write its acceleration equation, then 10 minus t equal to how much? It is mass of this, that is m/5 into acceleration, that is 10/5. Sorry, 10/m. So m will get cancelled, 5, 2. So t value will be 10 minus 2, that is 8 Newton. Simple. So simple thing you have to remember, if there is a rod, force is acting like this, you have to calculate tension at any point. Simply cut it into 2 blocks. And at this cutting point, tension, one block will apply tension on another, and second point, tension always act away from the body. Done. ठीक है. Now this is the question. There is a dynamometer T, and dynamometer is what? It is used to measure torque or force. Done. And this is connected to two blocks of mass 6 kg and 4 kg as shown in the figure. Reading of the डायनेमोमीटर का तुम्हें क्या बताना है? रीडिंग. तो रीडिंग हम कैसे निकालते हैं? लेट्स डू. अब आप यहाँ पे देखो, जो भी डायनेमोमीटर है, हियर स्प्रिंग लाइक अ स्ट्रक्चर इट इज, एंड इट्स रीडिंग विल बी इक्वल टू द टेंशन इन इट. First thing, remember this point. So we have to calculate tension here. Again, if we consider this whole as a system, so this system has a mass of how much? 6 kg, 4 kg. Dynamometer spring like a structure, massless we have to consider. So this system has a mass of how much? 10 kg. And on this system, in this direction, force acting is 50 Newton. In this direction, force acting is 30 Newton. So net force acting on it is 20 Newton in this direction. So net force will be mass into acceleration. So acceleration is 2 meter per second square. Now go inside the system, because we have to calculate the tension. Write the FBD of any one body. So 6 kg को suppose मैंने लिया. On 6 kg you can see here 50 Newton force is acting. Tension always act away from the body. This is directly attached to dynamometer. So tension will act away. If you're going to write this, it is accelerating in the forward direction with 2 meter per second square. है ना? क्योंकि whole system is accelerating forward with this acceleration, right? Now write the force equation. तो अगर आप लिखोगे तो लिखोगे 50 minus t equal to 6 into 2 mass into acceleration. So t equal to 50 minus 12. So how much value you are going to get? You are going to get how much? This is equal to your 38 Newton, right? This is going to be equal to 38 Newton. So this will be your answer. Now there is again one more question, two more questions there. A particle moves along the parabolic path. This, so equation of the path is given 3y square plus 6y plus 2. In such a way that y component of velocity vector remains constant. So y component of the velocity is constant. Vy equal to 5 meter per second. It means acceleration in y direction will be 0 because velocity is constant. The magnitude of acceleration of the particle we have to calculate. So a y is 0. We need to calculate ax. तो चलो इस इक्वेशन को डिफरेंशिएट कर लेते हैं. dx by dt will be equal to 3 into 2y into dy by dt plus 6 dy by dt plus 0. है ना? dx by dt is what? This is your vx equal to 6y into dy by dt is how much? That is vy, that is equal to 5 plus 6 into 5. है ना? Again differentiate it, क्योंकि we need to calculate acceleration. So vx को जब आप differentiate करोगे with time, you will get ax, and this is your 30 into again dy by dt we will do, and this is constant. This differentiation will be 0. So ax value is how much? 30 into dy by dt, that is 150 meter per second square. Done. So the answer will be 150. Okay. Now there is one more question, and like from the free body thing. तो यहाँ पे आप ध्यान से इस क्वेश्चन को देखना. Question is what? Figure shown represents the painter in a crate which hangs alongside a building. When the painter of mass 100 kg pulls the rope. So यहाँ पे एक कंटेनर है, इसके अंदर एक कंटेनर नहीं, मीन्स बड़ा सा एक रूम जैसा स्ट्रक्चर है, लिफ्ट जैसा स्ट्रक्चर यू इमेजिन, एंड दिस इज द पेंटर, एंड मास ऑफ पेंटर इज हाउ मच? 100 kg. Force exerted by him on the floor of crate is 450 Newton. यानी कि normal force between painter and the floor is how much? 450 Newton. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे अगर normal reaction की बात करूं तो वो है 450 Newton. If the crate weighs 25 kg and mass of this structure is how much? 25 kg. ठीक है? Find the acceleration of the painter. So we have to calculate acceleration of the painter. How we will do that? ठीक है? सबसे पहले एक चीज आप देखो ध्यान से. Again, in mechanics, understanding a system is very important. If we consider this crate plus painter as a system, this crate plus penter as a system, then normal force between crate and penter will be an inside force. And the only external force acting on this system will be tension in the upward direction. So अगर मैं whole body को system ले लूं, and system has a mass of how much? 125 kg, 100 kg of penter, 25 kg of that structure, and it has force acting in the upward direction, how much? Tension. And in the downward direction, only force will be gravitational force, and that is 125 G. Okay? And its tension and its acceleration can be written as what? Its acceleration can be written as T minus 125 G will be equal to 125 A. One equation we have got, but we need to write another equation also to solve this. Then another equation हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं? We need to go inside the system. Now you just write the FBD of penter. अगर मैं पेंटर की FBD लिखूं, इसका FBD अगर मैं लिखूं, ये पेंटर है. So it is holding the string. रोप को वो पकड़े हुए है, वो रोप को खींचेगा नीचे, and rope will pull it upward by Newton's third law. So on it, tension force will act again in the upward direction. Normal reaction between surface and penter will be there. So penter will apply normal reaction on the surface in downward direction, and surface will apply the reaction force of normal in the upward direction. So again, normal in the upward direction. And in the downward direction, it will be mass of penter into G. So this is this. And this is going upward with acceleration A. Because if this whole system is going upward by A, then penter is inside the system, no? That will also go up by acceleration A. अब आप इसका equation लिख डालो. So if you are going to write the equation of this thing, what you will write? T plus N. N value is given. That was given as 450 minus 100 G is equal to 100 A. है ना? And यहाँ पे हमारे पास एक था T minus 125 G equal to 125 A. Done. What we can do here, we can simply subtract. ये 2 ले लो, इसको 1 ले लो. So subtract 2 from 1. Sorry, 2 से 1 को subtract कर दो. So what value you are going to get? 125A minus 100A will become 25A. You know, and this will become equal to how much? This is 25G and this is 450. This T will get cancelled. So this is minus 125G and this will become plus if you're going to do the minus. So minus 25G. Again, you will add it properly. So you just need to now add it properly and then we will get the answer. You just need to add it or subtract it properly. Okay, that will give you the answer. I just need to discuss another question in this time frame. That is why I didn't solve that. But I have written all the equations. Now, this is the last question that we are going to discuss. A body of mass 1 kg is hanging as shown in the figure. Find the tension T1. अब आप tension T1 को निकालो. What will be the value? So, if you look at this carefully, if you redraw it something like this. This is 30 degrees. This is 60 degrees. And if we talk about this point, if we talk about writing the FBD of this point, which is massless. So if this is massless, net force acting on it should be what? 0. So अब आप यहाँ पे देख लो. This point is attached to this string. So suppose this string has a tension P1. This string has a tension P2. And this string has a tension something. है ना? इस स्ट्रिंग में टेंशन T ले लो and this is hanged with a mass 1 kg. So its tension will get balanced by the mg. है ना? So here T will be equal to what? 1 Newton. Sorry, 10 Newton. 1 G, that is 10 Newton. So this T is known, but still let me write it like T only. So at this point, if I'm going to write the FBD of this point, then it will look like tension T in the downward direction. This T1 here and this T2 here. Now let's break this T1 and T2 in vertical and horizontal direction. So T1 will have a component in the vertical direction. How much? T1 cos 60 And this T2 will have a component in the vertical direction. How much? T2 cos 30. So this, and in horizontal direction, it will be T1. It will be how much? T1 sine 60. And this will be how much? T2, what? T2 sine 30. So if you're going to put these values, T1 sine 30 should be equal to T2, T1 sine 60 है ना? T1 sine 60 will be equal to T2 sine 30. If you're going to equate it, अब आप क्यों equate कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि this is massless ना, so net force acting on it in the horizontal and vertical direction should be 0, है ना? So I'm equating force acting in the horizontal direction. So T1 into sine 60 is root 3 by 2 and sine 30 is 1 by 2. So T1 root 3 equal to T2. We can need to calculate what? T1 हमें calculate करना है. अब vertical direction का equation लिखो. So T1 cos 60, that is T1 by 2 plus T2 cos 30, that is T2 into root 3 by 2 should be equal to T, that is 10. ठीक है. अब आप एक काम करो, T1 निकालना है तो T1 by 2 लिखो. T2 का वैल्यू क्या लिख सकते हैं? T1 root 3. So यहाँ पे आप लिखो T1 root 3 into root 3 by 2 equal to 10. So this will become 3T1 by 2 plus T1 by 2, that is 4T1 by 2, that is 2T1. So 2T1 is equal to 10. So T1 will be equal to 5 new. So the answer will be C. Okay. I hope it is clear, and I hope you all must have attempted test with sincerity and everything. Go through the solution. Look for those questions which you couldn't solve, and for next stage, stay prepared. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.